What's happening in Brazil? Change is needed, but it seems that we are not fully realized. The current feud between Alexandre de Moraes, the justice from our Supreme Court, Elon Musk, Trump, governments, the US government, is not good. And Lula, who I would say is a very able politician, very able negotiator, has had some less than optimal responses. During the Hamas Israel war, he has sided with Hamas. He is aligned with some Iran, Libya. I understand we wanna sell a lot of stuff to Middle East, but we need to have moral clarity about Israel, about Ukraine, but especially right now when clearly the state, the the government of Brazil is responding to, for example, the lawsuit of Rumble. There should not be more gasoline in the fire. So when Lula just recently criticized Trump and the conversation that was in the Oval Office between Trump and President Trump and Zelensky, that should not be our response. Our Itamaraty, which is like the State Department, the diplomatic arm of the government, should be diplomatic because we do sell a lot to the US, and Brazil wants to sell to the US, to Europe, to the Middle East, to China, to Russia, everybody. So, Lula, President Lula, I have not voted for you. I have never campaigned for you, and I have never voted for you. But I met you in 1990 when you had just lost that famous election against Collor. And everybody called you stupid, unintelligent. And I was a teenager, and I went to see you speak just after the loss. And I noticed how intelligent, articulated, strategic you were. No surprise, 12 years later, you were sitting in Brasilia at the chair of the presidency. You, right now, is the president of Brazil, not the president of PT, not the president of a labor movement, not the president of a syndicate. You are our president. And yeah, I don't agree with a lot of your policies, but right now, you are my president. So I asked you and I beg you with you to think of the people, of the poor, because you know what tariffs or retaliations or commercial embargoes will mean to the people. And there are different sides, and you know, I know you have a lot of sway with the Supreme Court. You are a very good negotiator. Along with Bolsonaro, if you guys join forces, sorry for the guys, if you two join forces, you'd be amazing. So, my plea to the world is that President Lula becomes a peacemaker in Brazil. We stop taunting any country and we start bringing peace here. Stop with the conversation about attacks to democracy, the coup d'etat that never happened, right? There were nobody there. People taking over buildings are really not a coup d'etat. Bolsonaro was at Disney, and all the evidence that was being brought today clearly shows that this is a narrative. There was money from USAID, illegal money because our elections law does not permit, our constitutions allow congressmen and congresswomen to say whatever they want, and that's a protection enshrined in our constitution. So, President Lula, bring peace to Brazil. Hopefully, you can play a role in Israel, Hamas. and Ukraine and Russia. But right now, we are at the brink of a collapse. I don't believe impeachment is a good thing, either for you or for the justices. So we need peace. And that's really my take. We all should work together to for Brazil and with President Lula, because he's the current president. We need to stop every single time trying to take the president away, because when Bolsonaro was president, the same thing. The opposition was just, trying to make his life impossible. In the end of the day, the people suffer. And you all have swore an oath, and I'm sure you want to protect the people. So that's my message to all of you. Because in the end of the day, we need change. And change is sometimes difficult. We need to sit on the table and discuss as brothers and sisters. Join this conversation. Put your word.